I'm just going to sit down and monologue for 3 hours and walk you through, because voting is underway. It started in North Carolina in mid-September, and now it's rolling out through the United States. People are voting as we speak. So it's time to get comprehensive. It's time to focus, and it's time for you to go and send them to HughHewitt.com. But Dwayne is going to post this audio at HughHewitt.com, so that if you have any skeptics, all you have to do is send them to that link and say, hey, carve out the time to listen to this. 100 reasons to vote against Barack Obama and for Mitt Romney. Reason number 37, speaking in the military, Barack Obama cut the F-22. He ended that program. Now, if you don't know what the F-22 is, even Navy pilots will tell you that this Air Force fighter was the finest aircraft ever to be designed and deployed. We have some of them up in the air. There's nothing remotely close to their equal on the drawing boards, much less deployed by our adversaries or even by our allies. Nor will there be for a generation, another generation in which we can advance weaponry further. We had air superiority for the foreseeable future. And then Barack Obama stopped the F-22. He ended it. Too expensive in his eyes. Now, the F-22 is supposed to be replaced by the F-35. But not only did Barack Obama end the F-22 and the air superiority that guaranteed American conventional weaponry superiority far into the future, not only did he end the F-22, he has stretched out the deployment of the F-35, and the F-35, candidly, is not the plane the F-22 is. It's cheaper. It does more missions. The F-22 was a fighter. The F-22 is the key to air superiority as far as America could possibly want to have it. And Barack Obama ended it. Now, whether or not you believe in the F-22 or the F-35, you've got to know that American strategic air superiority is what must have if the American military is going to remain supreme over all of our combined adversaries. And that's what Barack Obama has threatened. Which brings me to reason number 38 to vote against him. He's also threatened our naval power. We are first and foremost a maritime power. Robert Kaplan said on this show some weeks ago, everything depends upon the United States Navy. Under Ronald Reagan, it was at 600 ships. Right now, by common agreement of administrations, both Democratic and Republican, and by congressional oversight that has been chaired by both Democrats and Republicans, the United States Navy is supposed to be at a minimum strength of 313 ships. You know where it is? To 282 ships, and Barack Obama let it sink that far. To 282 ships, and you know where we will be if Barack Obama's spending plans aren't reversed? We'll be closer to 250 than we will 270. And we might go as low as 250 ships, down from the 600 that Ronald Reagan used to win the Cold War, down from the 313, the minimum number we're supposed to have afloat right at this very moment. That's Barack Obama's legacy to the sea power of the United States. And it is sea power upon which we depend. 282 ships. That is a scandal. That is a disaster. And that is Barack Obama's legacy. Did I mention reason number 39 and reason number 40? Barack Obama has cut the United States Marine Corps by 20,000 Marines. He's cut the United States Army by 80,000 troopers. Those are the plans he put on the board. That's the result of the sequestration he has refused to stop. Those cuts are underway as we speak. Our military is being ground down, cut to the bone and beyond, absolutely denuded and hollowed out because of Barack Obama's insistent upon domestic spending. No matter how much it destroys our military deterrent, both conventional and nuclear, no matter how much it cripples our Marine Corps, which is our fighting first fist, no matter how much it destroys the ability of the Army to take and hold large amounts of terrain. So if you add the F-22 and the other air cuts to the sea cuts of the 282 ships, and then you bring in the massive personnel cuts in the Marine Corps and the Army, you've got the defense policies of Barack Obama. And those defense policies are the key reason, really, number one, because it is the number one priority of the national government to protect for and provide for the common defense. And what has Barack Obama done? He's destroyed that number one goal. He has completely undermined our national security, and he has telegraphed weakness around the globe. That's blunt, and it's true. Reason number 46. This is deep. From as lighthearted as the gaffes might be to as deep as this, he has deceived the country about the deficit and about his plan to raise taxes. Repeatedly, he suggests that the deficit, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 trillion, and the debt, 16 trillion, can be solved by raising taxes on the 1%. You've heard him say that. You know you have. Over and over again. He goes out and talks about a balanced approach to the deficit, making those at the top pay a little bit more so that folks at the bottom don't have to bear that. Here's the lie. It will not generate even 10% of what is necessary to balance the budget. Some people say 8%. Other people think it will destroy growth. But nobody believes it's going to raise more than 10%. It is a complete and utter fraud. And he indulges in it and has indulged in it for 2 years as the clock runs down on our fiscal nightmare. As we get closer and closer to becoming Greece ourselves, Barack Obama continues to go around the country and say that the deficit can be solved through increasing taxes on the highest income earners. That's just deceit. That's just wrong. But far more important, reason number 57, the Cairo speech. Remember how he was going to reset relations with the Muslim world? How he's going to open a new era? Well, it was perceived as, because it was, weakness. And it has brought home seeds of havoc and cruelty across the Islamic world as Islamist jihadists have taken control of many movements in the Arab Spring, and now the Muslim Brotherhood rules in Egypt. He has lost Egypt. The man who began his foreign policy repudiation of George W. Bush in Cairo now cannot go to Cairo. It would be too dangerous. And now he cannot even meet with the president of Egypt in New York because he is an Islamist extremist representing the Muslim Brotherhood. That is the fruit of Barack Obama's embarrassing foreign policy. When President Obama stands up and says, corpseman, that's a cringe moment. When President Obama refers to 57 states, you really wonder what the world is thinking. And we could put an end to that in November. He is as pratfall prone as Joe Biden. Now, you won't believe that.